Welcome to Scary Mary Asia. The Pelesit is a famous creature from Malay folklore, often associated with black magic and possession. It's one of the most feared spirit familiars in traditional Malay beliefs, a creature that serves its master, usually a bomo witch doctor, or someone who practices ilmu hitam dark magic. Here's a breakdown of what makes the Pelesit so chilling. The Pelesit is believed to be created by magical rituals, often involving grave soil, blood, and incantations. Some legends claim that it is formed from the spirit of an unborn child or the soul of someone who died violently. Once created, the Pelesit becomes a loyal servant to its master, carrying out curses, possessions, or attacks on the master's enemies. Most stories describe the Pelesit as taking the form of a tiny grasshopper or cricket, small enough to be hidden in a bamboo tube or inside the tongue of its host. When sent out on a mission, it can enter a person's body, often through the mouth, and possess them. A person believed to be possessed by a Pelesit often speaks in strange voices or languages, laughs or cries uncontrollably, mimics animal sounds, especially chirping shows signs of extreme agitation or violence, sometimes calls out the name of its master. Villagers used to say, if someone suddenly acts like they've lost their mind, listen closely. If you hear a cricket's chirp near their mouth, the Pelesitter is inside. In many Malay legends, the Pelesit works alongside another spirit, the Palong, a small vengeful ghost kept in a bottle. The Pelesit's job is to find a victim and open the way, allowing the Palong to enter and cause full possession or madness. Traditional healers, or Bomaha Puti, white shamans, would perform a Blang Pelesit ritual using Quranic verses, holy water, or lemon and lime cleansing to expel the creature. In some cases, the Pelesit itself may speak through the victim, revealing the name of its master before leaving the body. The whisper of the Pelesit, they say, in the old kampuns of Kedah. When night falls and the crickets begin to sing, you should never whistle back, because not every chirp in the dark belongs to nature. Some belong to the Pelesit. There was once a woman named Maxam, an old midwife who lived alone at the edge of a paddy field. Her husband had died many years ago, and her only daughter, Ina, had gone missing without a trace. The villagers pitied her, but they also feared her, because strange things always seemed to happen near her house. Animals went missing. Children fell sick after passing by her gate. And sometimes, when the wind was still, people swore they heard whispers coming from her roof, like someone muttering under their breath, over and over again. One evening, a young man named Rahim was walking home after helping his father harvest the rice. The sky was already turning black, and the sound of frogs echoed through the fields. That's when he heard it, a faint, rapid chirping, almost like a grasshopper, but closer. Too close. He turned around. Nothing. He took another step, and the sound followed, chirp, chirp, chirp. When he reached Maxam's house, the sound stopped. He looked at the window and saw her. Maxam, sitting in the dark, staring at him with eyes that didn't blink. In her hand, something tiny moved. It looked like a grasshopper. And then, Maxam smiled the slow, knowing smile before she closed her fingers, crushing the creature in her palm. That night, Rahim couldn't sleep. He kept hearing the chirping, even inside his room. The sound came from under his pillow. When he lifted it, there was nothing there. But then he felt something crawl up his throat, something alive, buzzing and fluttering beneath his tongue. He gagged and fell to the floor, clutching his neck. His mother rushed in, screaming his name. Rahim's eyes rolled back, and his mouth opened. But instead of words, only a shrill chirp came out. By morning, Rahim was not himself. He sat by the window, rocking back and forth, smiling at nothing. When the imam came to pray over him, Rahim suddenly spoke, in a voice that wasn't his own. High-pitched, childlike, mocking. He called me. He answered my song. The imam poured holy water over him, reciting verses. Rahim screamed. Something black and wet crawled out from his lips, a small, blood-soaked cricket, before vanishing into thin air. The imam whispered, "It's a Pelesit." Someone sent it. The villagers were terrified. They all suspected Maxam, but no one dared confront her, until Rahim's father did. He went to her house before dawn, carrying a machete and a bottle of holy water. When he entered, Maxam was sitting cross-legged on the floor. In front of her, a small bamboo tube lay open. Inside, the chirping was faint, but alive. "You shouldn't have come here," she said softly. "The Pelesit protects me. It feeds on fear, on the living." He splashed the holy water on her, shouting prayers. The house erupted in screams, not from her, but from everywhere. Hundreds of tiny voices, chirping in unison, filling the walls, the ceiling, the floor. And then silence. The next morning, Maxam's house was empty. No one ever saw her again. Only the bamboo tube remained, lying on the dirt floor, split open. Inside it, a withered grasshopper, dry and black like ash. Weeks later, Rahim recovered. He couldn't remember much. But sometimes, when he stood near the paddy field at night, he'd tilt his head and whisper softly to the air, "Can you still hear it?" And in the distance, faint, almost playful, came the answer. "Chirp, chirp, chirp." They say if you ever hear that sound near your window at night, don't try to find it. Don't whistle. Don't answer. Because it might not be a cricket. It might be someone's Pelesit, still looking for a new master. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like, share, and comment.